All right, season 5, episode 13, Patient X, as well as episode 14, The Red and the Black. Another two-parter here. We got Krychek and Laurie Holden's characters back.
Yep.
So we're back to like a main storyline one. And of course, these are not as fun.
Yeah, these are much more serious.
Which is fine. I mean, I don't hate these episodes. I find them the least entertaining.
Yeah.
Right? Because their explanations for things never feel fully satisfying. We had talked about this plenty in other episodes that like this. So we don't need to reiterate too much. But once again, it's just I'm finding like the last episode was like this silly vampire episode that really plays nothing into the overall plot at all. It changes nothing. You could not watch that episode at all for any reason, and you're not going to miss absolutely anything about the plot of this show. But it's way more entertaining than this episode for me. It is what it is. I still like these. These are fine, but I prefer like Bad Blood and stuff like that. Anyway.
Me too.
This is the episode where Mulder goes up on stage with the like whole ET community.
Yeah, and
he's like, it's all bullshit. Mm-hmm. And it's people in there got to be like, Mulder?
Yeah, 100% they
are.
They're like, what are you talking about? I don't blame them.
Yeah.
He's the ET alien guy for so long.
I think this is the episode, like, I'm not saying, I know that this is the episode where this happens, but I think this is the episode where the Syndicate actually finds out that Krychek is alive, because the Smoking Man lied to them and said he was taken care of, but I don't think they knew he was alive until this point, where he calls in and they answer, and it's like, it's Krychek. Like, I thought that this was them realizing, or maybe there was something before this. With them in the Russian prison, they found out then?
I think so.
I couldn't remember if they knew he was alive or not. I feel like they should.
I think they did know, but you might be right. I feel like during, that Russian prison arc, when he loses his arm and everything, because that's... Yeah.
Well, Mulder arrests him and holds him in...
Yeah, exactly. So I think they find out then.
They probably would know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
But then he disappears once again, of course. So it's like they're like,
it's
now
slippery
it's
bugger.
Yeah. He's kind of sucky.
Yeah. FBI agent is son of Cassandra. Oh, yeah. So Cassandra, this is the episode the episodes where Scully goes out on the bridge with the abductee.
Yes.
And this abductee, why do I keep saying abductee is like a mother of an FBI agent that Mulder works with, and he thinks like, you're going to poison my mom's mind with your bullshit. And it's like, man, I'm past that.
Yeah.
In fact, Scully's the one that's filling her head with this, not Mulder. They've completely flipped. Ever since Mulder stopped believing, all of a sudden Scully's like, you know what? I think I believe now.
I know. They really...
So annoying.
It is very annoying. It is very annoying, for sure. But, I mean, Scully has a good reason for wanting to believe this woman, because it's, like, tied to, like, the location that she herself was abducted with...
Dwayne Barry.
Mm-hmm. So I get it, and she's met other women that have been abducted, and like all of them died. So I totally get why she's like, maybe we should give her like a little bit more, like, just hear what she has to say, essentially. It's so in this part of the episode, or the part of the two-parter, is this where we find out that what's her name is with Krychek, or is that in the next episode?
Marita, is that her name? Laurie Holden's character?
Yeah.
They start hooking up in this?
I don't remember if it's this episode or the next. We're talking about both, but yeah. So she's
into one-armed dudes.
Yeah, well, she's kind of like, since we talked about her being the new ex.
Yeah.
She is double-crossing them.
Yeah, she plays all sides.
She does. She really does.
Yeah. She's not a trustworthy person, for sure. She tries to screw Mulder, too, but he's not into it. So she's like, gotta screw your arch nemesis.
The start of the next episode, though, is where we get the Smoking Man writing a letter. He's, like, in some snowy place, and a kid comes out and takes the letter. And it's not until the end of the episode that we see who it's given to, but I think it's fairly obvious considering that the actor that plays the FBI agent, whose mother is the abductee, is the same actor that plays the young smoking man.
He also played, fun fact, the Great Mutado.
Oh, right. Yeah, you told me that. That's really cool. I'm glad that they were able to bring this actor back because I liked his performance as the young smoking man.
They could have, changed his appearance a little.
They could have. I mean, but fine.
We thought, we were looking at a flashback for a second. We're like, oh, the young smoking man again. And it's like, no, that's just his son.
But, I mean,
I look exactly like my father.
Exactly. There's a lot of people that look like clones of their parents.
Yeah.
So, I think it's fine. And it just tells the viewer, oh, I know who your dad is. And,
yeah.
So that's definitely very interesting.
But they wouldn't know what he looked like young. So, yeah.
But we know.
I think it makes most of it. So, when that episode starts, the next one starts, it's like, you see the writing and you're like, this is the smoking man. 100%. Because he signs it or he says something like son or something on it.
Yeah.
Or your father or whatever the hell it is. And it's like, that's the smoking man. And this guy's this kid for sure. We get the faceless goons on the bridge.
Scary. They're freaky looking.
They're there's this war going on to stop the aliens.
It's been going on.
Yeah.
There are, and this is what she tells Mulder too, is that there are good aliens that are they want to contact humanity and essentially help them.
Yeah.
And then there are the other ones that are trying to prevent that. Because they want to keep controlling and manipulating humanity.
Yeah.
And so that's what we see here. I do really like the whole, Scully gets regressed to remember what happens because she doesn't get abducted, but she sees the lady get abducted. And it's pretty freaky because there's a craft above her and everything, and everyone gets lit on fire except for Scully because she gets rescued by somebody I don't remember.
Yeah,
who comes and saves her. There's a guy. So when the well manicured man, when they're all in this area talking to Krychek on the phone, there's a guy that leaves, and he's an alien because he's there at that abduction, and he's the one that kind of saves Scully, I think. Anyway, but Mulder still is the hypnotist is the same hypnotist that regressed Mulder.
Yeah.
And so he's very skeptical because he's I don't think that those are my real memories. And Scully's I don't know why else I would say any of that.
Right.
Because she listens to the recording. And that's very true too, because it's he's not coaching her or leading her on. If you listen to a recording of a hypnotist and they're just all right, you're gonna go back to this time, and then you say that, it's they didn't tell you what to say.
Right.
You're just saying
leading the witness.
Yeah. So
yeah. The syndicate thinks that the Russians have a vaccination to resist the colonization. So that's something that they thought was a pipe dream. Never is going to happen, but it seems that the Russians might have figured it out. That's all the experimentation that they're doing on all of those Mulder and everyone else that's in those camps. Which, that's some Nazi Germany shit where you're taking people and experimenting on them. Some human rights violations, to say the least. Might go against the Geneva Convention just a tad. But, they think they're doing it for the good of humanity. They don't give a shit. They're just,
no, they don't.
They just want to control people.
Yeah.
And, you've got what we were talking about with, the resistance fighters against the colonizers. And
Laurie Holden's character is also infected, so they're testing the vaccine or the treatment or whatever on her throughout this episode. And it does end up working at the end. Yeah,
because she got the oil in her eyes, and it clears up. So they figured it out. Krychek is actually the one who really goes in here and tries to tell Mulder no. Aliens are definitely real.
Yeah.
you've been misled, and it's like, of all the people who's not gonna convince Mulder, it's freaking Krychek.
Krychek also kisses Mulder here, so this is more of my, like, right? Because they're like struggling together, right? Isn't that this episode?
Kissing?
Yeah, you walked away. I think you were writing notes or something. I told you. He, like, kisses him on the cheek.
Oh.
Like, when they're, like, going back, like, they're struggling, and he's, like, trying to tell him.
this is the episode where he's, like...
He gives him a little kiss
the
on the
one
cheek.
arm thing, and he's like, is that the arm you beat it with?
Yeah.
And then
Same
he's
scene.
like...
Same scene.
He's like, if that's going to be my dying words, I can do better.
Yeah, yeah. Again, they have, like, some homoerotic stuff, I feel. Especially, I don't know. I think that's an undercurrent that I've noticed.
You just want them together for some reason. I have no idea why. Smoking Man signs his note RR.
Yeah, I don't know what RR is.
That's, I think, maybe his real name. If we ever actually get it, because we remember his pen name is Raoul Bloodworth.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work. I thought it was an RB, but it's an RR very clearly. So an RB would have been his pen name.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we've ever found out what his real name is. So.
It's probably, yeah, I don't know.
Unless we have and we just
Roy
literally...
Rogers.
And, I mean, yeah, when his son gets the mail, he sends it back to him, return to sender, and that's pretty... I mean, you know, the Smoking Man is a monster in a lot of ways, but I do feel bad for him here and there, so...
We find out that he is currently living in Quebec, Canada, so he's out of the country, but very close.
Yes.
He's still on the same continent. Mm-hmm. But, you know, so he's keeping close. He didn't leave too far away. So he'll return. He already just returned.
Yeah,
but he'll
he's back
return.
To the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no one thought he was dead.
No, we did not.
Motherfucker can't die, especially since I know he's in later episodes. So that was a kind of a dead giveaway.
Yeah. When
you've seen later episodes and he's there, he does get pretty fucked up looking later on. I'll just say that. So anyway, that's that. We're all caught up now.
Yay.
We're halfway through episode 15, but you know, something happened. We couldn't finish it because of some stuff with the children. But we are all caught up on all of the full episodes we have watched. We did 14 of these in a row. And I have yet to upload them at all. So
Yay.
You're going to get them all at once. That's going to be overload. X-Files overload. You're going to need the kill switch. All right, that's that. We'll see you in the comments. Adios.